Okay, so that concludes part one. Now, as we move on to part two, we're going to be examining the requirements for the exam, the requirements for earning the certification, as well as showing you different samples of how to complete a self-assessment. Please note that in this part two, you are not going to be told what to take. The road to CPA. In this slide, we're going to divide the requirements between the requirements for the test in this side and the requirements for the license in this side. This is to show you that you can actually get started in the requirements for the test and the ones for the license at the same time. In total, the test requires you to complete 36 quarter units of accounting subjects, 36 quarter units of business related subjects, 30 quarter units of accounting study, and 15 quarter units of ethics study if you wish to complete the license. The total requirements to earn the license are 117 specific subject units, so please keep this in mind when you're picking a major. So let's talk about the first hurdle, the eligibility for the exam. In order to be eligible to take the CPA exam, you need to have completed 24 semester or 36 quarter units of accounting subjects. That equals 9 UCSD classes. You also need to have completed 24 semester or 36 quarter units in business related subjects, which is another 9 UCSD classes. Additionally, in order for you to be able to walk into the exam, you need to have completed a bachelor's degree. Now let's talk about the accounting subjects. The accounting subjects can be met with 7 classes in the accounting minor and 2 optional electives. For example, MGT 133 and MGT 134 are both courses that you could use in order to meet that accounting subject requirement. Then, moving on to the business-related subjects. The business-related subjects are basically classes that are taken within the subjects below, meaning business administration, econ, marketing, computer science, business management, finance, statistics, etc. The easiest way for you to complete these business-related subjects is by completing a business-related major. That includes econ, that includes computer science, and that includes statistics and math. Please note that if for whatever reason you are not interested in doing any of these business related subjects, you can still complete the requirements to take the CPA exam, but it's going to require you more effort in order for you to complete both your major and the CPA exam business related requirements. You can also do the business minor, and that will allow you to complete a couple additional courses that you can use towards this. So in total, the education requirement to take the CPA exam are the 36 quarter units in accounting subjects, the 36 quarter units in business related subjects, and the bachelor's degree. Please note that in order for you to actually sit in for the exam, you need to have completed the bachelor's degree, meaning that all your courses have been petitioned and all the classes have finished and been graded in order for you to be able to claim that you have a bachelor's degree. And that is it for the first hurdle. Now we're going to move on to the second hurdle. The eligibility for the license. To be eligible for the license, you need to have completed 30 quarter units in accounting study. Accounting study is basically a hybrid of both accounting subjects and business related subjects. You also must complete 15 quarter units in ethics subjects. And you need a total of 225 quarter units of college education. Additionally, for the license, you need to have completed 1 year of work experience and you need to have passed the CPA exam. Now, let's talk about accounting subjects. Now, let's talk about accounting study. Accounting study basically is a mix and match of accounting subjects and business related subjects. For accounting subjects, it requires you to have a minimum of 9 units. Whenever you see minimum in a requirement, it means that that is the absolute least that you can do, which means that if you wanted to, you could technically do 30 quarter units of accounting subjects in order to meet this requirement. There is no maximum to the number of accounting subjects that you can count towards accounting study. And you can see pretty much we just went ahead and wrote down what options you have here at UCSD. You have MGT 133, MGT 134, 137, 143, etc. Please note that because these courses are not part of our minor program, they are not always offered. So you want to make sure that you're on top of things when it comes to signing up for these courses, as they're only going to be offered once or twice a year. Now, please note that the same units that you use for the exam cannot be used towards accounting subjects for the accounting study section. You're going to have to take additional courses. As I mentioned, there is no maximum to how many accounting subjects you can count towards accounting study. Additionally, because we have 4 unit courses, if you take 3 classes, that's going to add up to 12 upper division units. So that would mean that you would only have 18 that you have to do as something else. Now, let's move on to the business related subjects. The business related subject allows you to have a maximum of 21 units, which means that if you have 24 units, that's great, but they're only going to be counting 21. So for this, we're also listing pretty much the same thing as the business related subjects during the first hurdle. And as we mentioned, you can complete these by completing a suggested major, it being econ, joint math and econ, management science, etc. Additionally, you can take a business minor as well in order to complete these classes. Please note that any classes that are left over from accounting can be used as a business related subject. So that kind of relates to what I was mentioning about accounting subjects not having a limit. Any courses that you don't use for accounting subjects, you can use towards business related subjects in the accounting study portion of it. Then there's another section that is asking for relevant coursework, and that is a maximum of 13.5 units. I'm sorry. So basically what that is an alternative for students whose major does not include business related subjects to be able to complete their requirements without much hassle. So what this is allowing you to do is to do one course in what they consider as skill-based courses. And this is going to be English, communication, journalism, physical life, natural life, and social sciences. Then it's also allowing you to do one class in a foreign language or a cultural studies class. And lastly, it's letting you complete one course as an industry-based course. All courses that are industry-based courses have to be completed within the realm of engineering, architecture, or real estate. And like I said, this is only going to come to play if you didn't complete a business-related subject as a major program. Additionally, you can take up to 6 quarter units of an accounting and business internship, and you can go through our academic internship program in order to figure out how you can make these internships count. Now, if you don't want to worry about any of this, you can complete a Master's of Accounting, Taxations, or Law and Taxation. That will also supplement the accounting study so that you don't have to worry about whether or not you're picking enough accounting subjects, enough business related subjects, etc. Now let's move on to the next requirement, which is the ethics study. For ethics study, you need about 4 courses, which is going to add up to 16 units. The actual requirement is only 15 units. Please note that ethics classes need to have certain terms in order for them to count. The last educational requirement for the CPA is the 15-quarter Ethics of Accounting study, which roughly adds up to about 4 classes. And we're going to go a little bit more in depth about what constitutes an ethics course, but please note that these are going to be probably some of the more specific classes that you're going to have to take. Now, 15 quarters of accounting ethics. How is this supposed to be split up? There are different sections to it. One of them is the accounting ethics requirement, the other one is the general ethics courses, and then the other one is an option to do an intro course. And this is basically the way that we are choosing to split them. That is not their actual official name, so just beware of that. So for the accounting ethics requirement, it's asking you for a very specific course that is accounting ethics or accountant's professional responsibility. For us, that class would be MGT 146, which is ethics and accounting. Please note that this class is not offered every quarter, so you're going to have to be aware of when it's being offered so that you can make sure to take it. Now, for the general ethics courses, it asks you for a maximum of 11 quarter units or a maximum of 3 classes in courses that contain the following terms: auditing, business leadership, ethics, etc. So all of those, you can read them right here, are considered their ethics subjects. And please note that these have to be specific in their title, meaning that if for whatever reason you take a class that only has leadership in it and it's not considered business leadership, that's not going to count. And we're giving some examples below here as to what could count and what would likely not count. Now, if for whatever reason you're struggling with this section right here, they do give you the option to take one class as an intro class. And this class has to be a very specific class in a very specific subject. So it's asking you for an intro to religion, intro to philosophy, and intro to theology. And what the requirements tell you is that in order for it to count, it needs to be intro to one of those 3 subjects, or that the sole name needs to be the name of the discipline, meaning religion, philosophy 101, etc. So this is something for you to consider if for whatever reason you're doing a major in religion or a major in theology, that there is one requirement that you can fulfill by taking one of these courses. So for the suggested ethics courses, you can see here that we are suggesting the following. These courses are courses that we offer, so we know that for the most part they're going to be offered at least once a year, if not multiple times a year. As I mentioned, probably the most important one is the ethics and accounting course based off of its specificity. So you want to make sure that you take the class as soon as it's being offered, and you can see our course offerings in our homepage by scrolling all the way to the bottom. You can see when we're projecting to teach this course. And that's it. So this is basically a slide. And so that's all for the requirements. Now, what should you do if you weren't able to finish the class requirements? There are some options that you can do either while you're still here or when you graduate. This includes UCSD summer school. Please note that for summer school, we only have very limited offerings. It also includes UC extension, whether it be UCSD extension or extension through another UC. Other UC summer programs, they are mostly open enrollment. Also, community colleges also have a lot of accounting courses that you can take either while you're in school or after you graduate. And last but not least, as I mentioned, there are Masters of Accounting programs that can help you fulfill the remaining of your requirements. And Rady actually will have one of those coming soon. Now, since we're done with the academic requirements, let's talk a little bit about the other requirements. The next requirement is to pass the exam. You can't be licensed unless you pass that test. So for frequently asked questions, feel free to visit the address below. They will have more information about what to expect, how much the exam costs, etc. So let's look at the overview of what you need in order to attain the CPA license. You need 45 accounting units, out of which 36 are going to be for the exam and 9 are going to be for the license minimum. You need 57 business units maximum, 36 for the exam and 21 for the license. And then you need 15 ethics units, out of which 15 are for the license. So in total, you're going to add up to 117 total specialized units. However, because the CPA requires you to have 225 units completed, you will still have room for 108 units of other subjects of whatever fulfills your heart's desire to be able to reach 225. Now, the next requirement is the work experience. And for this, we're really just going to leave this up here. If you have any questions about work experience, please contact the CPA. We do not deal with any of this. We can try to assist you as to the best of our ability, but there's a lot of things that you would have to consult with them as far as any exceptions that you might require them to do for you, etc. However, if you need help landing a job or an internship in order to meet that requirement, there are some services in UCSD that can help you. One of them is UCSD Career Services, and I've already talked a little bit about the services that they offer, but they can be an invaluable resource as you're looking for a job. Additionally, UAS tends to send to their listserv any offerings by their accounting partners. So if you're interested, please make sure you contact them. You can find them on our website under student organizations. And then last but not least, your instructors can also serve as a point of contact even as you're starting the search process for a job or an internship. We have some yearly events also that are focused in helping you find a job or network with accounting firms. So please stay in touch. Visit our LinkedIn and our Facebook for any reminders about these events. And that's it. You did it. Next up, we're going to have a couple of videos about how to perform self-assessment for different groups of students. So if you're interested, stay tuned. These are going to be like 9 to 10-minute videos that we're hoping can be useful for you. But if you have any questions individually about your CPA plan, we can do the best to help you. As we mentioned, our walk-in hours are Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9 to 12 and Wednesdays from 1 to 4. And that's pretty much it. Thank you so much once again, and hope you have a nice day.